Welcome to this section on Martin Luther's contributions in the Reformation movement. Who is Martin Luther? Martin Luther was a German and he was a clergyman. He was a priest by himself and also he was a professor of theology at the University of Wittenberg. So basically, he is a German. He is a priest. He is a Catholic priest. Okay, let me put it here. He is a Roman Catholic priest, and he also worked as a professor of theology, the study of religions. So he was a professor at the theology and at the University of Wittenberg. Now he raised a strong voice and launched a movement against the abuses which were practiced in the church, especially against the authority of the Pope, because he knows the Bible in and out. When you are teaching something, you should first be well aware of it. So here he accused the church. He was questioning the church on the sale of indulgence, as I told you, because it was the time when people started to question the indulgence part. Now, what is this sale of indulgence? This is nothing but it is a letter of indulgence which is given by the church authority, which is kind of a modern day certificate. So these certificates were sold by the clergy, and that will forgive the sins of the person or the family who are buying these particular indulgence. So who questioned this one? Martin Luther questioned this one. He abused the church for the practices that are happening and also the unquestioned authority of the Pope. As we already told, he is autocratic in nature. He questioned that one, and he also posted 95 theses or the statements on the church door against the evil practices of the church. Now, this came to be known as famously 95 Theses. He put all his questions and arguments which are against the practices of the church, which he felt are wrong according to the Bible, and he posted this on the main door of the church. Martin Luther had immense faith in the Bible, but not on the Pope, because this is man made opinions what the Pope is doing, what Pope is enjoying. Nothing as such has been mentioned in the Bible. That's what he believed. And he has set up his own independent church known as Protestant because he protested the practices of the church. He questioned the indulgence certificates. He questioned the authority of the Pope, and then he established his own church known as Protestant Church. And on the basis of the original teachings of the Bible, he has done his church practices. So he translated the Bible into English language so that everybody can understand what is written in the Bible. So now Bible came to be written in Latin language, English language. People came to understand what is there in the Bible. And Lutheranism, nothing but the Protestantism, as he took the movement and took forward and formed a church, he got this name as Lutheranism. That is nothing but Luther's ideas, which were recognized as a legal form of Christianity by the treaty known as the Peace of Augsburg. Peace of Augsburg in 1555, that is exactly after 9 years after his death. So, Martin Luther greatly contributed for fighting against the practices that were happening during the 16th century in the Catholic Church. on the name of the church and the blind faith of the people. Many such practices were intact. It was he being in the part of the clergy, he himself was a Catholic priest. He belongs to Germany and he was a professor of theology where he knows the in and out of the Bible, and so he was able to question the authority with a commitment that why is this happening? Why they are questioning? Because there is nothing as such is being written in the Bible, or nothing in support to the letter of indulgence or the other practices that the Pope and the clergy are doing at that point of time. So he refused to accept the practices blindly. As we also know, it was a time of Renaissance. It was a time where the scientific spirit has been aroused in the minds of the people. They started to think with what is the logic behind this. They started to question everything. Without logic, they were not accepting what is that. So, when that was there and everything was open to people, when the Bible was translated into regional languages, people can understand that because it is in the ordinary man's language. Now, the point is very clear that it is nothing that is given in the Bible that is being practiced. So, he was forced to set up an independent church away from the influence of Roman Catholic Church, and that church came to be known as Protestant, and he formed this church on the original principles or teachings of Bible. Later this came to be known as Lutheranism, and it was recognized as a legal form of Christianity by a treaty, the Peace of Augsburg, in 1555 AD, which is after 9 years after the death of Martin Luther King. Stay tuned. We'll catch you in the next section.